What's up, wrestling fans? Well, in a minute, we're going to be joined by Jake DeMarco, who's going to give quick comments on what he thinks about CM Punk coming back to the WWE. And, of course, Jake is outside, so we're trying to get the best connection possible. It's hard to hear him probably, but we'll do our best to get a hold of Jake. But in the meantime, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, man, they're ready to jump off the AEW train as well. And we're going to get to that later in another video. So, guys, in my next video, we're going to be talking about Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, but especially Matt Hardy's comments. Just another group, more people upset with AEW. I mean, they're not being ridiculous about it, but they're frustrated. And, I mean, who is not frustrated in AEW? I guess maybe Adam Hangman Page is not frustrated, right? Maybe Swerve Strickland's not frustrated anymore. Maybe Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, maybe those guys aren't. But everybody else, I mean, to me, it's like I feel like everybody else is frustrated, like in some way. Even their champ MJF, he could be very frustrated for all we know. So we're gonna find out, man. Those comments it never ends. Ric Flair the other day. There's so much to go into, and we're gonna go into it on Patreon. So guys, make sure you join us. Tonight we might be live behind the paywall on Patreon, so look for that. Please sign up on Patreon if you would like to hear tonight's show on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. When you sign up on Patreon, you get access to Final Frontier News, all those episodes, the Corrupted Podcast, hundreds and hundreds of those episodes, the Jake and Joe Podcast, Jesse and Fish Lips, plus the Morning Madness episodes that I've done, hundreds and hundreds of them, plus over 20-something note to selves that I've recorded while out in the wild. After Dark with me and Jesse, and me and my wife's podcast. There's so many of those. Talk Spooky to Me with Leah and Monica. There's so many others that aren't on the screen. There's so much on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. We have him. It's let's get the audio right. Making his return to the show for the first time in about 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we have him on the phone live. It's a little bit hard to hear, but he's out. He's outside. It's a little windy. Deliver your message, Jake DeMarco. Unbelievable.
And just know I miss everybody a ton. I hope everyone's doing well and had a good Thanksgiving. I am thrilled that CM Punk is back in WWE because of all the endless possibilities. Not only does it really make AEW look quite bad in retrospect, but still, I mean, I don't think Punk really would have had that many problems had it not been for his run-in with the EVPs. I don't think he's going to have any type of behavioral issues, as they say in WWE, but we'll see. History tends to repeat itself. But I'm excited. There's a lot of matchups, possibilities, stories. I like what they're building with this whole Seth thing. But that's about it. I'm going to see a new neurologist and wait on surgery myself, so I go the 15th of December. Danny's not doing well at all. She goes for her next sinus surgery is December 14th, so she goes a week before Christmas. I go the next day. And then she's going to have the brain decompression surgery about 6 months from today, they said. So we just got back from Yale Children's neurosurgery, and they said that she's symptomatic enough at this point that they want to follow through with the brain decompression. Wow. So kid needs brain surgery. Not the best outcome, but we'll get there. All in a day's work.
Well, I really
Jake?
appreciate you, Jake. Wait, what? Jake? What? Jake? Oh my God, Jake? What was that? Jake? What? Jake? Jake, hey, can you hear me? I'm trying to get his feedback. I'm trying to get the audio back. What the hell was that? Jake, can you hear me?
Get his wallet. Get his fucking wallet. Get that wallet out that hungry motherfucker.
But like I said, later on Patreon, we're going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff, especially about the Hardys are now upset. We're going to talk about Ric Flair is upset. CM Punk is gone. Cody Rhodes. I mean, we're just going to go through the list, the gamut. There's so many things and problems and issues and unhappiness, and there's the rumors about MJF in the back. I don't know how true those rumors are, but I mean, all this other stuff is true. So how are you not to believe the MJF stuff? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy to not believe that stuff when everything else is going on. But I don't know, man. I am blown away. And again, like I said, you guys will be able to hear our podcast tonight. Me and Rojas and maybe one other person, I don't know yet. We will possibly be live. If not, it will be uploading to patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. So make sure you guys check that out. Shout out to everyone who's re-upped on Patreon. You get all the behind the scenes, but you get all the bonus content you don't see here on YouTube. And, of course, great to have we're going to try to get an update on what the hell happened to Jake here tonight after that recording. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll try to figure that out for you. Great to hear Jake on the show again. There's been a big rumor about CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I mean that is the big rumor. It was set up years ago. I don't know. This is almost become the new Sting Undertaker, by the way, right? And it already was something 10 years ago. But just like Sting and Undertaker, that had been a rumor for years prior as well. If you guys remember, back when WCW first went really, I mean, honestly, the rumor happened back when, Sting was in WCW and Undertaker was in WWF. What if Sting and Undertaker could wrestle? Like a dream thing. But then when WCW was acquired by WWE, then the rumors really started flowing. And then they were off and on for that point forward. And these rumors with CM Punk started about 11, 12 years ago now. And, they even set up a little bit of a tease on it 10 years ago. And here we are in 2023. And quite honestly, after seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens, anything's possible. But there's also a big rumor that, CM Punk is going to face Roman Reigns. So, it could be any of these things. And that's what's going to make WrestleMania season so crazy this year is the amount of just talent that's been added to this pool of possibilities. And, I mean, can you imagine what would happen if, when and if Edge and Bryan Danielson come back to WWE, if they were in WWE now, or the Hardy Boys were back too, and maybe a couple other names, and they acquire. I mean, the WWE could be a loaded roster again with every important player of the current age involved in WWE at this point. It really could happen. And then, AEW would be left stripped with, Kenny Omega maybe and the Young Bucks and, a couple other people here or there. I don't know. But right now, they're really stripping it down. You talk about let me see you strip. The WWE is being stripped down. And all of the talent there in AEW is starting to show signs of irritation, disappointment. And it's just kind of a crazy thing to see. And we're going to talk about that later tonight when we play the audio of what Matt Hardy said and give our opinions on it. And there's going to be a lot of opinions. Maybe we'll get in some fights. I don't know. I would like to grab somebody who's an AEW fan. So if you're out there and you're a content creator, a podcaster, or somebody who has been trying to do that, but you've got to have some material already going, let me know. DM me on Twitter at MetaWorldOnline, or email me joecronshow@yahoo.com. And I would like to add you tonight maybe to the show or this week because we really need somebody who also watches AEW. I just think that we're going to have great opinions from me and from Rojas and whoever out the third person is on the show tonight, but I really would like one other AEW mark to be there, especially if you're hardcore. See, I love hating and loving every company. When WWE has been bad, I've bashed WWE for years, and you guys have known that. And people call me a scumbag AEW supporter or whatever. WWE is my favorite thing of all time in wrestling. It's like I'm watching since 1987. It's just, listen, if one of the companies is doing bad, I'm going to trash it. And if one of the companies is doing well, I'm going to praise it. And right now, I think WWE is doing all right, but they've screwed up so many things. Even on Monday Night Raw the other night, I think they dropped the ball kind of. But AEW has completely dropped the ball on talent and so many other things. At least WWE is signing all the acquisitions. Now, what will they do with them? And if they do what they did with Punk the other night, well, we're in for a pretty boring time. Because once again, you can bring a guy in with all this hype all you want, but if it ain't good, it ain't good. I'm Joe Cronin. This is the Joe Cronin Show. Please comment down below with some well wishes for Jake, maybe his daughter, or just, say whatever you'd like to Jake. And obviously we'll get this video to him, and he'll, if he's alive, he might have been just assassinated, but whatever. Super thanks would be much appreciated as well if you want to support the channel, or just become a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, and we will catch you behind the paywall.